Assalamu alaikum, viewers. Welcome to a live update from Jerusalem. We're joined by Sister Abeer from Jerusalem to give us an update about what's happening. Obviously, everyone's been following social media. You're aware what's happening, but it's important that we hear from the ground, from people who are experiencing it. And Sister Abeer, many people here already know, famous in the UK. But for those who don't know, Sister Abeer is from Jerusalem, an activist, works in Al-Aqsa. On the ground, giving people the information, the knowledge that they require. But Sister Abeer, from your own self, whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm now at my home, which is 1 kilometer from the mosque itself.
Okay, so walking distance.
Yes, and you can see the mosque from inside the house. Alhamdulillah.
Oh, from your house.
Yes.
Mashallah, that's so cool. That is really, really cool. So at the moment, does that mean that when things are happening in Masjid Al-Aqsa, you can hear it, or you're kind of in close vicinity as well? And you work in Masjid Al-Aqsa, right?
I'm working there, yes, and I grew up there. And yes,
Okay.
from my home, I can hear what is happening there. Even the fire today, I was able to see it from inside the home. Yes, if they shoot or do anything inside the mosque, I can hear it from my home. Yes.
And just to understand, for the viewers, just to take a step back, over the last 2 days from Saturday, what actually happened on Saturday?
It's of all the thing that is starting Saturday is connected with what was planning to be happen today. Today in the 28th of Ramadan, it's the same day of what Israel call it Jerusalem Day. Jerusalem Day is after the occupation in 1979, I think. Israel decide to take in the Knesset that Jerusalem is union, east and west, and not to accept the national law which say that we are under occupation. So since that day, they start celebrating that day and they start calling Jerusalem Day. So since we was kids, this day the settlers go in huge numbers and start attacking us in the street, and they call it the walking with the flags, and they dancing in the Muslim quarter. So this year they say that they want to enter inside the mosque and to make this celebration inside the mosque, and to say that they are controlling the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So since Saturday, the Israel police tried to empty the mosque and evacuate all the prayers from it to prepare the mosque to be attacked by the settlers. So this caused a problem since Saturday, because Muslims refuse to go out from the mosque and they want to continue praying. Also, Israel tried to stop people from outside of Jerusalem to arrive to the mosque. So they close all the checkpoints so the people from West Bank can't come. And on the same time, they try to close the roads in the way of people who are from the land 48. They try to stop them from coming to the mosque. So the police did not allow for their buses to arrive to Jerusalem. So they stopped them in a place which is far, almost 10 kilometers from Jerusalem. So the people, instead of going back home, they go down from the buses and they start walking in the direction of Al-Aqsa Mosque. So people from Jerusalem, when they hear what happened with the people who are coming from the land of 1948, they go with their cars, hundreds of cars. They go to bring them to Al-Aqsa Mosque to pray. So it was another way for protesting.
And this is, I suppose, symbolic of the unity that Masjid Al-Aqsa brings to Palestinians and
Yes.
to everybody else, to the Ummah.
Even
The
the
fact that
Israel
people
media,
bringing people through.
Even the Israel media write about that and say that it was wrong from the Israel police to stop them because it's make union more between the people
Mm,
in Jerusalem and the people in 1948. So, with all what is happening in the same time at Damascus gates since
mm,
the beginning of Ramadan, and with all
mm,
what is happening also in Sheikh Jarrah of evacuating the people, this is make everywhere in Jerusalem like a fire.
mm.
Everywhere there is protesting. What is interesting today that not only Jerusalem there was protesting for Al-Aqsa Mosque,
Okay.
all the city, the Palestinian city inside the land of 1948, where Palestinians
Mm,
still exist, like Haifa, Yafa, Lifridis, Nasra, all the
mhm,
city,
mhm.
all of them was protesting today, which is amazing because the land of 1948 is not normal to have a kind of a protesting like this, and all of them to be protesting one day for Al-Aqsa Mosque. It's amazing.
So
And
the protests in 48 were for Al-Aqsa.
yes,
Okay.
and also in the West Bank, in Ramallah, in Beit Lahem, in all it was the same. Today also, with all the fighting that it was happening in Jerusalem, and anyway,
Mm.
just today we have more than 300 injured inside Jerusalem, and some of them are in very dangerous situation.
So is it
Uh,
these are people injured throughout the city, so in different kind of areas, right, of
yes,
Jerusalem?
yes, mainly inside Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Okay.
So we have more than 300
Hmm.
just today.
And these are people that are being beaten or stun grenades from the Israeli forces, right?
Also bullet, rappel bullet,
Yeah. Hmm.
box. And also there is one that and settler run over him with his car.
Yeah.
So these some of them are in very dangerous situation. Through from Saturday to now, we
Hmm.
have almost four guys that they lost their eyes. One had lost both of his eyes. So they try to shoot at the face as much as they can.
So
It,
they're deliberately trying to shoot at people's faces.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So this is, of course, damage the face, even if it was
Mm-hmm.
not in the eye. Also, it will damage the face in a different
Mm-hmm.
way. Even that we see, for example, today one of the video for a guy who lost his eye, and when they told him that he will not be able to see again in his eye, he say, "Fida al-Aqsa, fida'an lil-Aqsa." At العصر, almost at العصر, Gaza had threw a rocket on Jerusalem, which is the first time to have a rocket from Gaza in Jerusalem, and to hear the voice of of the rocket inside Jerusalem. It was very strange. All the people was so happy, and all the settlers were so afraid.
So
But
today,
yes,
so gone.
so after that we become sad because Israel had threw rockets on Gaza, and there is almost 20 shaheed in Gaza. 15 from them are children,
Mm-hmm.
which is make us feeling very hard, very sad emotion
Yeah.
about what is happening there also. Of course, we would like all the Muslims to stand for Al-Aqsa Mosque, but we does not like
Mm.
to see any Muslim are killed.
Of
So
course. What we saw from here, we saw when we woke up this morning. So obviously we saw everything happening on Saturday, which all the viewers I'm sure have seen. Then woke up this morning to horrific kind of scenes of again Israeli forces coming into Masjid al-Aqsa, shooting grenades. We saw the Israeli settler driving a car into a Palestinian. We've seen the tree in Masjid al-Aqsa being burnt. We've seen so much horrific scenes coming through it's like one thing after another. It's hard watching it from a distance, but you're actually there. You're seeing, like, Masjid Al-Aqsa desecrated completely. What's the feeling of Palestinians that are so close to Masjid Al-Aqsa? What's the feeling like, and what do they want people outside for us in London to be able to do?
We are feeling proud and sad in the same time. We are
Mm,
feeling proud that we was able to stop the settlers from entering to the mosque, and for the
mm,
first year, we was able to stop them from coming and celebrating our neighborhood in the Muslim quarter. So we are happy with that. And in the same time, we are very angry, very sad of what is happening inside the mosque, and that we are fighting as a civilian alone. Uh, we hope that all Muslims in the whole world understand how much important is Al-Aqsa Mosque, and that
mm,
this is part from Al-Aqidah. We are asking all the Muslims all over the world to go out, to speak, to be in the street, to protest,
mm,
to say that they are not accepting what is happening in Jerusalem, what is happening against Al-Aqsa Mosque. We would like them to do letters, to
mm,
write to their government, to put pressure on Israel to stop what they are doing. What they are doing of trying to take the mosque, of what they are doing in shooting, in attacking the people, what they are doing in evacuate and demolishes
mm,
houses of Palestinians inside Jerusalem. All of this is very important issues, and
mm,
we are asking all our brothers and Muslims all over the world to stand and to say a word, to do. At least to protest in their
mm,
cities, at least to send a message. Every one of them can do that. Every one of them can put a hashtag about what is happening in Al-Aqsa, what is happening in Sheikh Jarrah.
mm.
It's important to say very loudly that you are standing with Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Alhamdulillah. We've got tomorrow in London. We've got an emergency protest outside Downing Street for that very reason. But we've also got protests in Birmingham, in Manchester, in Dewsbury, in Bradford, in Glasgow. So there's protests throughout the UK tomorrow, and we're asking people to come to the streets just for that very matter, to show our solidarity with people in Palestine, show our strength for Masjid al-Aqsa, and try and hold our government to account for international law. So we're doing that. And we've also got a letter on our website, foa.org.uk, encouraging people to contact their MPs and ask them to condemn the Israeli actions that have been happening. So we're trying to do the best we can. But sometimes people say that, what's the point of protesting here? It makes no difference. But what I've
No,
heard from
it
Palestinians is
make a big
sometimes that,
difference. It make a big difference when you are protesting. You are saying your voice, and your voice is very important. First, it's for us when we see other Muslims protesting, we feel that we are not alone. For also for your government, when they see and hear this, they will put a little pressure at least on Israel government. Also for Israel themselves, they will start thinking when they see all these people all around the world protesting, they does not like that. So what you are doing is very, very important, and its effect directly on what is happening on the ground in Jerusalem.
Jazakallah. Is there anything you would like to say before we round up?
Again, just not forget Al-Aqsa Mosque. Don't forget that it's part from your Aqidah. Al-Aqsa Mosque is your first Qibla, is the land of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, the land of the Prophet. Al-Aqsa Mosque is your third mosque. It's the only mosque that he was asked to go for it by our Prophet. So remember all of this, and don't forget Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Sister Abeer, Jazakallah for joining us, and inshallah we'll see you soon.
إن شاء
Assalamu
الله.
alaikum.
وعليكم السلام.